Welcome to IELTS Speaking Practice Test. My name is TALHA YASEEN. I'm your IELTS examiner. We are in IELTS Speaking Part 1. I'll ask you a few questions and you have to answer.
Okay, sir.
What's your full name?
My full name is Dua Fatma.
How may I address you?
You may address me as Dua Fatma.
Okay, Dua Fatma. Where do you come from?
I come from Mia Channu.
Okay, describe your hometown a little bit.
I live in Mia Channu, a beautiful city, and that's very close to my heart because that city belongs to my parents. I have been living here since my childhood. A very good city about education. Their literacy is very high.
Okay, let's talk about different topics. Do you work or study?
I'm studying and I have recently passed my FSC. Now I am preparing to pass my entry test for university.
Okay, so what are your hobbies?
My hobby is to learn different languages like Spanish, Turkish, and Arabic.
Okay, that's very interesting. Uh, what recent language have you studied about?
I have recently learned about Turkish.
Okay, what different hobbies people have in your country?
People have different hobbies like they usually like to collect stamps, like book readings,
Okay,
and many other hobbies.
okay. Are you an introvert or extrovert person?
I'm actually an introvert person and I usually spend my time alone. I don't want to go outside, so I spend mostly my time in my home.
Okay, now let's talk about clothes. Where do you buy most of clothes?
For traditional clothes, I prefer a brand called Ethnic. And for Western clothes, I usually go to Outfitters. Their designs are trendy and fashionable, and also they are in my budget.
Okay, how often do you buy clothes for yourself?
Not pretty often, I would say. I buy my everyday wears in bulk for every 2 or 3 months. For traditional outfits or for any other events, I buy them occasionally.
How do you decide which clothes to buy?
I generally go to the mall and visit my favorite brands. I explore their clothing, pick some dresses which I like, and then put them on in the try room and select.
Okay, that's good. Let's talk about historical places. Did you like to visit historical places?
Yes, I like to visit historical places because that belong to our ancestor. I'm a nostalgic person and I like it most.
Which recent historical place did you visit?
I have recently visited Lahore and especially Bashahi Masjid. It's a beautiful mosque.
Okay, this is the end of IELTS Speaking Part 1. Now we are in IELTS Speaking Part 2, that is called Cue Card.
Okay.
In this part, I'll give you a cue card. You will have 1 minute to prepare. You can take notes if you want. Then you have to speak on it for 2 minutes. And your topic is describe an interesting discussion you had about how you spend your money. This is your cue card. This is the pen. Your time starts now. Please start.
An interesting discussion I had about how I spend my money was with my mother a few months ago. We were sitting at home and talking about daily expenses and shopping habits. The topic came because I wanted to buy some new clothes and few other things that I liked. My mother suggested that instead of spending money on unnecessary items, I should learn how to manage my money. She also shared her own experience about how careful spending helped her manage household. As a result of discussion, I started paying more attention to how I spend my money. It was a very useful discussion and I learned a lot from it.
Okay, that's the end of cue card. Give me this cue card. Okay, now we are in IELTS speaking part 3 that is called follow up questions. I'll ask you a few questions related to the cue card and you have to answer. My first question is, why do parents give money to children to spend each week?
There can be many reasons. It could be for food, money, it can be for school accessories, supplements, or hanging out with their friends. Most importantly, it's for their own use, for safety purposes. If they fall in any trouble, they can help themselves out of that.
Okay. Do you think it's true that in today's society, money cannot buy happiness?
Although I wouldn't say money cannot buy happiness, it surely does help. If a person is unable to pay for his food, money, shelter, will he really be happy? But also, we cannot ignore the fact that no amount of money can buy health, love, or loyalty. So, money cannot buy happiness, but it can help.
Okay. What disadvantages are in the society where the gap between the rich and the poor is very large?
I think the main disadvantage is the rich people keep getting richer and the poor become poorer. The rich people live extravagant life where the poor can barely survive. And it's not illegal to be rich or to have a gap between rich and poor, but it's very immoral and unethical. Poor have to suffer a lot.
Okay. My last question. Do you think richer countries have a responsibility to help poor countries?
It is of a moral responsibility than a legal one. They are not bound to help the poor countries, but I think they should do it for the sake of humanity.
Okay. That's the end of IELTS speaking practice test.